Welcome to Islamic Life Coach School Podcast. Apply tools that you learn in this podcast and your life will be unrecognizably successful. Now your host, Dr. Kamal Akhtar.
Hello everyone. Peace and blessings be upon all of you. Today I'm going to be talking about a very amazing concept which I've named your Qadr Reveal. It's hard to explain in words because this is somewhat of an ethereal concept. It's going to be hard to explain in experiential terms with language that limits the experience. But as always, I will try and I will keep trying. Like always, we all keep trying. So here goes. Qadr Reveal is a concept that is about creating a new potential reality for yourself as it aligns with your Qadr as it already exists. I've spoken about this topic before in episode number 51. And this episode was rather early in my podcasting journey, so don't mind if the tone is very different from now. But I do recommend that you revisit that episode because it is based on a powerful concept. And today I'm going to expand on this concept of Qadr through this episode and the next one, being that this is going to be a two-part series from the lens of possibilities. Qadr is known to you as being factual as it relates to the past and the present. But it is not known to you as factual as it relates to the future. You don't know what the future holds, and since you don't know that information, how about you use that to your benefit? Meaning, since you don't know the future possibility, then what part can you take in creating a future of your desire among this unknown? Your active participation in this starts with you choosing a belief from a pool of pre-existing beliefs. Imagine there are a million possibilities in the sea of possibilities, and you choose one of those possibilities. It's just one thought that you choose from it. That thought creates an emotion, which generates an action, which creates a result in your life. That is you taking part in your Qadr as it relates to your future. Because future Qadr is unknown to you, so it exists as a sea of possibilities. And only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is capable of creating that sea of possibilities. What your responsibility is to pick one of those thoughts among the million and million of possibilities that exist. And once you do that, you will make that into a lived reality for yourself. So in this sense, there's a pool of pre-existing thoughts that is your Qadr as it relates to your future. What you choose from this pool, this ocean, is what will help shape the future outcome. And all you have to do is choose your thoughts with awareness. Whatever you choose will become the reality. It becomes the idea that you channeled, compared to all of the rest of the ideas that could not be channeled and did not become reality. Based on this, you're living a life that is a string of moments, one after another, where in each moment you are picking a thought from the infinite pool of possible thoughts and channeling an idea into reality. Now this is where it becomes interesting. When an idea of what is possible for your life enters your awareness for the first time, this is what I'm calling a Qadr Reveal. This is your first exposure to a new possible reality that you have not previously considered. And this new thought might be framed as, maybe this is possible for me. And this whole process is followed by a cognitive expansion where your perceived options for your life increase. And it could be a moment when someone suggested an idea that had never occurred to you before, like realizing you could work part-time and make the same amount of money as full-timers, or realizing that you can bake a cake that is based on healthy ingredients. What is important about this Qadr Reveal is that it's based on a framework where your life is not just one solid, fixed identity moving through time. Your life is a continuous stream of moments, and every moment you're perceiving, selecting, amplifying, and embodying thoughts from an infinite range of possibilities. These thoughts that are available to you as a collective human consciousness. The overwhelming majority of Muslim women, or even human beings, believe that they're thinking when what they're doing is mostly just repeating the same patterns, not thinking from new possibilities. They're repeating familiar interpretations, the same emotional patterns, similar identities. This is where your life will feel fixed, not because your future reality is fixed, but because your access to thoughts has become repetitive. And this is why this concept of Qadr Reveal is extremely profound. By definition, a Qadr Reveal is not a creative idea. It's not even constant positive thinking. It's not fantasy. It is the first moment a previously inaccessible solution enters your awareness and becomes cognitively available to you. It is a thought that your current identity was not previously able to access. So the key characteristics of a Qadr Reveal thought is that it introduces something. It does not have to come with certainty, although that can be a part of it. That when something becomes available to you, you're certain that this is how you need to move forward, but you don't have to be. Sometimes this Qadr Reveal thought is weak, like maybe or what if. Another characteristic is that it expands your previously perceived options. So before this level of revelation, your brain believes that the available paths are limited. But after the revelation, the range of possible futures increases. Another characteristic is that it might come from a multitude of sources, meaning it can come externally from another person's suggestion, exposure to somebody else's life or experience. It can come from coaching, or it can come internally, like in a dream or a spontaneous idea. The next characteristic is that it precedes belief formation, meaning a belief is a thought that your body is on board with, but a Qadr Reveal might be a thought that you might just be logically entertaining and your body might not believe it yet. And that's okay. Again, the point is your initial access to that thought. The point is not that you quite believe it yet. That might happen in the future if you continue to entertain the thought. So initially, it might just be a possibility, then it might grow into consideration, a belief, all the way into embodiment. And once you do that, that's when you can take actions from it. And that's where it creates different outcomes. The Qadr Reveal is a thought at its very first initial stage. So for me, an example for that was I was a physician with complete burnout, but I was still attempting to function at a high level, but constantly living at the edge of reactivity and dysregulation. So everyone around me loved the level of productivity I provided and the endurance I had. But what I assumed is that exhaustion was the unavoidable price of meaningful work. This is the belief that kept me in the old pattern of burnout, and I thought that was just a part of my qadr as working as a physician. Then one day a thought appeared in my mind that told me, what if my work was supposed to expand me instead of consume me? So this thought felt almost illegal at first because it threatened my entire identity structure built around exhaustive hard work. But once this possibility became visible and I allowed it to exist and grow, I could not unsee it. At that point, a new range of choices started to exist for me psychologically. And a compounding effect of that one thought is the result of the life that I'm living currently, enjoying flexibility and immense gratitude and expansion in my life, being the same physician working the same job. And I'm going to continue to give you examples like this to help you internalize this concept. Let's say you're a Muslim mother of an autistic child who has spent years that believing your worth is tied to how well you can control your child's behavior. And every thought you have had access to up until this point in your life is survival based. And then one day you hear someone say, what if instead of controlling your child's behavior, you helped your own nervous system? And suddenly you realize that you've never once considered that regulating yourself might matter more than hyper-managing your child. And this single Qadr Reveal thought that appeared to you out of the possibilities of a million thoughts that exist changes how you interpret your parenting, changes your relationship to your own healing. It provides an easier path towards your mental health and towards raising a successful, independent, neurodivergent child. It completely changes the result of how you deal with motherhood itself. Or if you're a woman who wants to start a business, but you assume that successful people are fundamentally different, they're more confident and more charismatic for some reason, then you meet an ordinary person making millions in their business from a simple idea, and all of a sudden you have access to this Qadr Reveal thought. Oh, this is a learnable skill. This is an external information that you internalized, having started as a belief that you can do this too. And your limiting beliefs as it relates to your business start to collapse. This creates a completely different future outcome because you chose to believe a possibility from the ocean of possibilities. These are all very practical and simple ways a thought can inspire you and completely change your life. All you have to do is spend enough time with the new possibility. Because before the Qadr Reveal, the new reality did not exist, psychologically or practically. When a Qadr Reveal enters your realm of possibilities, it can happen through a conversation. It can happen through a podcast, through a billboard, through a random sentence that you came across, a moment of your reflection, a sudden internal knowing. It can come from a child. It can come from a learned scholar. It can come from Quran. It can come from your spiritual studies. No matter where it comes from, all it requires of you is to entertain the possibility that this might be true. Because that is the moment where a different version of life becomes visible to you, which is not fully practical right away, especially in the beginning, but it's just enough to grab your attention that your mind circles back to it. In the beginning, it might look like, I don't know if that's possible. I don't know if I can do that. Then it becomes more and more of a possibility. And that is Qadr Reveal. Meaning you don't know what your possible existence in the future might look like. And you can use that unknown to your benefit. What happens immediately after a Qadr Reveal is a cognitive expansion, where your perceived options of your life increase. In this framework, this exception is a perceptual access to a broader range of Qadr that is possible. If you're not open to this concept, that's okay, but I will warn you that you might only be living through possibilities that your lower brain offers you. And then it doesn't matter how many infinite solutions to your problem exist out there. The solution would never enter your life as a possibility if you don't stabilize yourself enough to perceive it. The difference that I want you guys to be very cognizant about, and I'm trying to make it clear over and over again, is that this new thought was not created in that moment. It was always created. It was just unknown to you. It has just entered your awareness now. And this distinction matters immensely because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the only being that creates from nothing. Human beings cannot do that. Human beings become aware of, they interact with, they select from, they channel the possibilities that already exist within the infinite range of what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has already created and made possible. And once you understand this, you begin to see life extremely differently. You begin to realize that most of your suffering that is in pain is because of your perceptual illusion and limitation. People believe that they're trapped because of their qadr, but it is because of their limited access to the future possibilities that their qadr holds. And since they don't have that awareness, they keep recycling the same range of available thoughts. And another possible distinction in this phrase, Qadr Reveal, that I want you guys to be aware of, is that it is not meant to be said in a sense of divine revelation that was given to the prophets. Islam categorically closed revelation of that level after Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. So revelation as it is given to the prophets is known as wahi, and it is fundamentally different from what ordinary human beings experience. The prophetic revelation is the direct communication from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and it is protected from any error in its transmission. It is authoritative for humanity. and it was delivered through Angel Jibreel. This is a source of scripture, law, and religious guidance. This is very, very different from intuition and insight, and it is extremely different from your own creativity. Wahi is not even something spiritually advanced people continue to receive after prophethood. Wahi ended with the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. What ordinary people experience is very different. Islam in itself also contains multiple concepts of non-prophetic form of an inner opening. Their ilham, or inspiration, or firasa, deep intuitive perception, or hikmah, wisdom, or basira, which is insight or inner seeing. The mother of Musa alayhi salam was inspired in the Quran to place her child in the river. But this is not prophethood. The Quran uses the language of inspiration and casting it into the heart. This is not legislated as the prophetic form of revelation. So this matters because my concept of Qadr Reveal is much closer to an expanded awareness and perceptual access that is an insight that everyone has access to if you allow it. It is the unveiling of possibilities and new recognition of something that was previously unseen. Qadr Reveal is not wahi, and there is a huge theological difference between the two. So there's a couple of reasons why I wanted to make this distinction clear. One, that I didn't want you to misinterpret what I was saying, and two, that I don't want you to sense your Qadr Reveal moments to be divine legislation. Your Qadr Reveal moments are not absolute truths with a capital T. It might be your truth, which it is an extremely important truth, which carries an immense weight and value, but it is not the truth as classified to be so by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is not infallible guidance. It is a moment where your awareness expands enough to perceive a possibility or a reality that was completely outside of your perceptual field previously. And this Qadr Reveal might hit you like an aha moment that, oh my God, why didn't I consider this before? This is the absolute way forward, and that might be true for you. And you're more than welcome to continue to pursue that path. Or it might reveal to you in more of a subtle way, like an ember burning lightly, needing more oxygen, more air, more attention to come into its maturity, to become a full fire. Qadr Reveal might be a thought that might be partially true or completely true. It might create change slowly, or it could solve everything instantly. It might change the trajectory of your life in the most beautiful way possible. It may lead you towards healing, purpose, regulation, growth, spirituality, healthy relationships, financial independence. It might do all of that quickly or slowly. A journey that ensues after you accept a Qadr Reveal thought is not written in stone. It is flexible and adaptable. If this thought is partially true, then it will require some time to mature. Your interpretation of it will require wisdom and refinement. You as a human being are a meaning-making machine, and the moment a new possibility enters your awareness, your ego is going to want to rush to explain it. But sometimes that thought cannot be explained quickly, and that might be just because your current understanding of it is incomplete, and that's okay. That does not render your thought invalid. It just means that it might need some more time. All of these explanations are not to distance you from the actual work of continuing to identify what is possible for you. I want you to be on the quest of Qadr Reveal and be okay if sometimes you're wrong about it. And that is because you have a component of humanity working for you. You're not infallible. And this is why my coaching on your soulful intelligence becomes so important here. If you're a woman with a dysregulated nervous system, you will have an ego attachment, a trauma burden, and overall, if you're operating from a low consciousness set point, you can easily confuse impulse for truth or guidance, because that might feel emotionally intense in that moment. This new possibility as revealed to you as a potential qadr, it is not automatically sacred or correct. It is not even the ultimate truth. It is an invitation into your awareness that needs to pass through your discernment, your emotional regulation, your ethics, the Islamic principles of spirituality that you operate from. It needs to pass through reality testing and wisdom. Don't confuse a Qadr Reveal thought with impulsivity, although it can feel impulsive, but it requires your time and your discernment. In the next episode, I'm going to explain to you what these thoughts look like and why you need to be at the highest level of alignment for you to even access these possibilities. With that, I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Ya Allah, open my and all of our awareness to possibilities that bring me closer to you. Protect us from confusing ego with guidance. Allow us to recognize what is meant for us to grow. Allow our hearts to stay open to the million possibilities that your Qadr holds for us, and allow it to create barakah in our life. Protect me and all of us from every thought that distances us from you. Ameen Ya Rabbul Alameen. Please keep me in your du'as. I will talk to you guys next time. I am truly honored that you are here in my circle. And if you or someone you know is raising a child on the autism spectrum, I want to personally invite you to join my program, the Ummi Collective. This is a weekly coaching program for Muslim mothers where I help you build the skills to raise independent and successful neurodivergent children, while also supporting you as a woman in the process. If you're struggling right now, but deep down you know that your child has incredible potential, and you want to support that potential the best way possible, this program is exactly for you. Use the link in the show notes to apply for the program at a discounted price. I would be honored to welcome you inside the Ummi Collective.